Good morning and welcome to a breakfast show here on Community Desk, the 15th of February 2022. You're welcome, and we apologize for coming to your screen quite late due to our technical issues that we had in our studios. But well and good. How has been your morning this Tuesday? How are you doing? If you're going for work, how is it? What are your expectations? And we would love just to tune in for this time up to 9 hours so that we can interact on various issues that we're going to be discussing. I'm not alone in the studio. I'm joined by my co-host, as usual, Miss Zipporah Mushala. Good morning.
Good morning, Alex. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How was yesterday, it being the Valentine's Day?
For me, it was a normal day, but first, I don't know, have we yet apologized to our viewers for beginning the show late?
Yeah, I have.
And we also sincerely apologize from my side for starting the show late. It was due to some technical challenges that we were having.
Exactly.
And so yesterday, Alex, was a normal day for me. I didn't eat Hungry Lion. I didn't eat anything. I just ate normal things, Shima and all that.
I know where we're going. I'll catch you just there. Let's just take a look at our morning boost and just keeping fit as our agenda here on the desk. We always want to make sure that our people are kept fit. So let's just have our morning boost, and when we get back, we'll dive into the main issues of today. Stay tuned and follow us.
Good morning, Cabinet viewers. Welcome to our quick morning show. And I am your presenter, Isaac Matsa. I'm here so that we can do a bit of exercise before you jump on that vehicle and go and do your work. Let's do a warm-up as usual. I'm excited. It's a beautiful morning, a brand new day. You better be positive and do what you know. Let's go. Hamstring, stay at it. Let's do now two each. Let's go. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Stay there. 2, 1. Try it. Tell your hubby to join you. Let's do it together. 2 each. 2 each. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 4, 3, 2. Back to step touch. Let's go. 4, 3, 2. Hamstrings. 4, 3, 2. Back to step touch. And 4, 3, 2. Hamstrings. Matching. Let's match. Lift your knees high. Hip, 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 hip. Let's go. Let's do a warm-up. Okay. So that was your warm-up today. And we're going to do something else now. The first thing we're going to do, I'm giving you some squats. Okay. Here we go now. Put your feet together. Watch my body posture. Let's go now. 20 at a go. If you can't do 20, please do 10. Okay, let's go. Let's go, mommy, daddy, involve your children. 1, 2, 4, go down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. I'm gonna face this direction. Go! 10 more. Okay, 20. Still with squats. Take a break. Relax your legs. Good morning workout, isn't it? Let's go, another 10 now. Watch the space. This is what I do now. 1, 2, 3, Try it. 5, 6, good for your body. 7, 8, 9, 10. So that was 10. That's the second one. In case you had too much of Nshima last night, let's burn all that fat now. Another 10. Ready? Feet together. Open your stance, go down, touch the ground. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 20. Trust me, if you're doing it exactly like me, right now you can feel pressure on your thighs. 20 more. Remember the first one we did was 40. This one should be 40 as well. After that, take a shower, jump on that vehicle, your bike, your car, and go for work. Let's go. 20 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! I'm burning fat here. Do it. You thank Camnet later. Last one. Let's go, Team Camnet. Let's show them we can do this. Last 10. After this, you can have your coffee and go for work. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll do 2 for you, 1 for you, 2 for your wife, 3 for your children, for my producer, 1. Great. That was 40. So you did 2 types of squats. Remember? There was the skill squat and the sumo squat. Now, forget about the names. What's important is for you to do the workout. Right now, I can't even talk properly because I'm working out. I'm burning fats, I'm burning calories, and that's what you ought to do. Every morning, try this. If you miss it in the morning, try to do it in the evening. Remember where I started from? Let's march. And back. We are winding down now. Thank you so much for tuning in to our breakfast show. Please make sure you need to exercise always because you only have one body to carry out your assignments. And I am signing out. I'm Isaac Matsa, and see you.
So there you have it. That was a wonderful exercise. A great way to start a productive Tuesday. Alex, how was that exercise for you?
It was excellent, and today I think I've done it perfectly. I followed the man step by step, and I'm improving. I'm sure.
Have you still given up on your dream of becoming Mr. Zambia one day?
By July.
By July.
Yeah, that's the target.
So we've got like 4 more months till we see your muscles.
Exactly.
I've seen some trending pictures on Facebook of a woman with muscles. I don't know if you've seen those.
Not just yet, but should be an interesting. Yeah, but women, some women actually do.
So I thought, no, this woman is doing better than my colleague, who's aiming to go
I
somewhere.
hope the technician can just switch the machine. Don't say that we're on stage. Yes. So getting to another segment that we want to look on the health segment, having Dr. Cynthia Lewis, pediatric registrar at UTH, to take us through the epilepsy topic.
And if you remember yesterday, Dr. Mlenga mentioned that today we're going to learn the difference between seizures. We're going to learn the difference between seizures, convulsions, and epilepsy. So because people usually tend to interchange them, so I'm sure we're going to have more insight as we get to look at what epilepsy is. So let's take a look at that clip.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Cynthia Lewis. I am a pediatric registrar based at the University Teaching Children's Hospital. Yesterday, my friend or colleague talked about seizures in children. We established that seizures are the motor manifestation of abnormal electrical impulses in the brain. Today we're going to talk about epilepsy, or as many of you would know them, fits, or uksamfula, or uksamfuka, as many people refer them to. So today we're going to discuss the difference between epilepsy and a seizure. Are they the same thing? So we established yesterday that seizures are as a result of different reasons. You could have perinatal reasons. These are problems that happen during labor and delivery. You could also have seizures come in as a result of an infectious process such as meningitis. You could also have seizures come in as a result of trauma. But with epilepsy, it is quite different. Epilepsy is as a result of unprovoked recurrent seizures is what would give you the term epilepsy. So, in our setting, what would cause epilepsy? Well, 90% of epileptic cases are idiopathic, or to say they have no known reason. The other predispositions could be the things my colleague talked about in yesterday's interview that I earlier alluded to. So in epilepsy, we have different types of epileptic seizures. They're divided into two broad categories, namely the focal seizures and the generalized seizures. So for the focal seizures, these are seizures that come in as a result of an abnormal impulse in one area of the brain. So depending on where this lesion is how the seizure would manifest. For example, you could have twitching of the eye, abnormal movements of the lips or lip smacking in babies. You could have fisting or boxing. You could also look out for abnormal movements of the lower limbs, especially in the neonates or the young children. In older children, you could look out for signs of absent seizures, which are generally an absent or blank stare lasting for a few minutes. Coming to talk about generalized seizures, these are seizures that come in as a result of abnormal impulses that spread throughout the brain. So the manifestation of these seizures affect the entire body. The most common presentation is the one my colleague alluded to, which is called a generalized tonic-clonic seizure. In this type of seizure, you would most likely see jerking of both the upper and the lower limbs. This is the most common manifestation of a seizure that most people tend to bring children to the hospital for. However, it's very important to note that that is not the only type of seizure. As we had discussed earlier, that I will just explain further on, different types of seizures would include a blank stare. They would also include fluttering of the eyes. Also, someone would present with the complaint of not having enough power, or what you call a drop attack, where someone would lose consciousness and simply fall to the ground. In other instances, you would have children who generally present with a short period of unconsciousness or confusion. They would present with a short episode of altered consciousness or confusion. They would tend to slur their words, and these are all things that we would need to look out for. Another thing that was touched on that we need to explain further on is how to manage a child who's fitting at home. There's a common misconception that children who are fitting should be restrained, and therefore the seizure would be aborted that way. Tomorrow we're also going to touch on different myths, including this very one, to see all the myths that surround seizures in children and also epilepsy in general. So, how is epilepsy diagnosed and treated? The diagnosis of epilepsy stems from a comprehensive history, which includes a birth history and a family history. However, the gold standard for diagnosis of epilepsy in children and also in adults is something we call an EEG. An EEG is basically a test that we do to measure the electrical currents that run through our brain, and would be a definitive diagnosis as to whether or not someone has epilepsy. Another gold standard we can use is imaging studies. We could use either a CT scan or an MRI. These imaging studies would basically show us whether there is an infarct or an abnormality in the brain which could predispose someone to these consecutive seizures or epilepsy. So what is the treatment for epilepsy? The treatment goal is to abort the seizures. So you have treatment that's based on aborting the seizure as the patients come in, and also for the long-term management of these patients. In terms of the long-term management, the medication is chosen based on the type of seizure that the child or the adult would present with. Since we've given you different seizure classifications, different seizure types, so you would know what to look out for. As the bedsiders or the parents or the guardians bringing in these children to the hospital, you would know to tell your doctor what kind of seizure it was, as that weighs greatly on the type of medication that would be used for the long-term management of these patients. Also, there's another common misconception that epilepsy is not treatable, which is not true, and we'll discuss this further tomorrow in our myths concerning epilepsy. In conclusion, it is also very important to note that people with epilepsy can go on to live productive and fulfilling lives and be valuable members of the community. With that being said, this was Dr. Cynthia Lewis coming from the UTH Children's Hospital. We'll see you tomorrow with 10 myths about epilepsy.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, we are here in Community TV for our breakfast show, which comes on your screen every Monday and Tuesday on Community Desk, and Wednesday and Thursday politics, and Friday business news up all the way to Saturday. So here I'm with Zipporah Mshal as usual, but just from having a segment which is a health segment by Dr. Cynthia Lewis, who was actually taking us, you know, even clarifying some of the myths that surrounds the epilepsy. And one of them is, like she has just told us, she'll clarify even further, like epilepsy is not treatable. Like some people have it.
Known that it's a lifetime condition. Yeah,
like when you have it, you go with it down to your grave, which is actually not true, you know. So those are the things that I mean society should get to learn, and also know how best they can treat their loved ones if they have any patients in their families, and also their friends. So they shouldn't be that stigmatization, you know. These things, there are a lot of myths. And one surprising thing that I took note is 90% of epilepsy cases, so far, the reasons or the causes are not known. Yeah, so which is quite huge.
So I'm just interested, I'm sure tomorrow in knowing how the treatment is done.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it will actually be like something of a relief to many people, because many people maybe do not even actually seek to help, to get help, maybe because they believe that it can be treated.
It's a comfort really that it can be treated. So getting to the money market, we'll just get to review. Money market has updated today, the 15th of February 2022. This morning, the Great Britain pound is buying at 25 kwacha point 16 in weight and selling at 25 kwacha point 6 in weight. The United States dollar is buying at 18 kwacha point 61 in weight and selling at 18 kwacha point 97 in weight. The euro is buying at 18 kwacha point 89 in weight and selling at 19 kwacha point 26 in weight. The South African rand is buying at 1 kwacha point 23 in weight and selling at 1 kwacha point 25 in weight. There you have it, the money market that is on the foreign exchange. In case you're going for businesses and other economic endeavors, that's how the money market looks out today.
Yeah, so it's true on the same things, it's just a day anyway, just a day in between, it's true on 18.
Yeah, no much difference there. So we get to just review one of the stories that made headlines on our community desk on the last night's bulletin. One of them has to do with the drugs. You covered that story, Zipporah. So just maybe tell us a bit little about the story before we get to watch the bulletin.
So there were concerns about ZAMSA, that's Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, that is former medical stores. So this was after a news tabloid carried out a story saying ZAMSA was true giving out honeybee drugs. If you remember, there were some allegations last year.
We actually discussed it yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So last year there were some allegations concerning honeybee pharmacy, saying it was giving substandard medical products. And so this medicine was actually under quality control quarantine. And it was not supposed to be distributed, but somehow it was distributed. And ZAMSA actually admitted to this fact and apologized. I'm sure you remember yesterday where ZAMSA apologized. And so we have we had stakeholders in the medical sector. That is the Zambia Medical Association, Dr. Crispin Moyo, the president of the Zambia Medical Association, who actually so the Zambia Medical Association tries to create accountability in the health sector. So they call for accountability and all that. So they're saying, according to them, they're saying they need some action on those who were actually responsible for the public to have confidence restored in ZAMSA. So they're saying we need you to act to show us that you're going to do something, that you're being accountable, that you're being transparent, that you're going to do something about this so that people can have confidence even in your future operations. And also had Mr. Jerome Kanyika, a pharmaceutical expert, who's actually saying this act actually may have a negative image on the new administration, who have been saying they're going to ensure quality health services. So these stakeholders actually actually calling for action on those who are responsible for the same. So that's what exactly.
I think that's everybody's expectation for the well-being of the country at large. Let's just take a look at the picture and the bulletin that we had last time.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency ZAMSA has come under fire from various stakeholders following its confession on Sunday that the agency distributed paracetamol that was under quality control quarantine belonging to Honeybee Pharmacy to Kabwe and Kasama General Hospitals. The controversial Honeybee Pharmacy made headlines in 2021 for its alleged defective gloves, condoms, and substandard medicine. In a statement dated 13th February 2022, ZAMSA has rendered a public apology stating that the medicine was distributed by error and has since been recalled. This has, however, angered stakeholders in the health sector who have demanded for action on those responsible for this error. Zambia Medical Association President Dr. Crispin Moyo was speaking to Camnet News.
We would like people to be accountable, would like people to take responsibility. And in this vein, we're calling upon management to find the root cause of this, identify where the mistake actually happened, and take action against those that are involved in making this error. Impunity will not lead us anywhere. I think when such grave mistakes which are life-threatening happen, we need to take decisive action.
Dr. Moyo has further expressed worry that this action has only come after the activity was exposed by daily tabloids, stating that measures to detect faulty medicines should be enhanced. So
I think they need to give us a much detailed statement as ZAMSA, in conjunction with ZAMRA, how these drugs even end up in the shelf so that they can even be distributed. Because it's not correct for a drug that is under quarantine to even be closer to a place where it can be dispensed. These drugs are supposed to be as far away as possible from where they can be consumed. Now they ended up even being distributed, even reaching the facility. That is dangerous. Yeah, they need to give us a detailed account of what happened.
Meanwhile, Jerome Kanyika, a pharmaceutical expert, has also added his voice.
So what was in the mind of the people running ZAMSA? Whom are they trying to implicate? Do they want, or they intentionally want to sabotage the works of the government, knowing very well that the president campaigned against the issue of Honeybee, and he promised to say he is going to make sure that supply chain and distribution of drugs are done with high quality, and the medication that will be supplied to the people of Zambia will be efficacious and safety medications. So what is ZAMSA trying to say?
The operations of ZAMSA have raised concern among stakeholders, as the agency was in 2021 also cited for drugs expiring in stock, while health facilities were lacking medicine. So those are the questions that have been posed to ZAMSA. People are asking what exactly is going to happen to those who were involved in the illegal distribution of this medicine. They have called for accountability. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet TV in Lusaka.
So there you have it, a story that actually involved ZAMSA with drugs. So really, what do we expect from now going forward? We expect maybe a comment from ZAMSA themselves, aside from the apology, obviously. Are they coming back to just give us detail of those who were directly involved?
So
Maybe
this
those are
now
the things.
brings various stakeholders on board. We also have
To
the
push
Ministry
for
of
that.
Health,
Yeah.
who actually have to get involved, and whether the Ministry
The
of Health
media and everybody else.
to actually make sure that something is done about this.
And also the people themselves to just get keen interest in following up such things, because you know health really borders on sensitive issues, and when you know submit some things which are not fit for consumption, I mean it's quite worrying. So there you have it on Zoom headlines, the stories that we had in last bulletin. We'll just get to open our phone lines now to discuss one of the trending issues, the alleged increase of connection fees by ZESCO. And we just want to get your take on the matter. I'm sure some of you have seen some of tabloids which are publishing this leaked statement from ZESCO that is suggesting that there are new prices that have been put across by ZESCO. And to just say the figures, the alleged electric connections fees are coming from, ranging from 1.7 kwacha to about 6,995 kwacha. So the difference is quite huge, Zipporah.
From 1,700,
Can you
so
imagine? A difference of 5 something.
So this is almost 7,000, 6,995 kwacha. That's almost 7,000.
Yeah.
So 1,700 kwacha.
Really, considering the issues surrounding electricity, especially in Zambia, already we had the backlog of about 60,000 people who are not yet connected. And that's why we had that suspension, somewhere in December. ZESCO wouldn't do new connections, but deal with that 60,000. But even that, people were complaining of the prices, really. They're too much, and given that government was doing subsidizing the prices, really it was quite a relief. But now, these are the new prices, allegedly, that will be put in place by ZESCO, so that people can now start procuring the poles and everything else that is involved in the connection. So really, it's quite something to talk about.
And it's really interesting, Alex. If you also check the cost of meter separation has increased from 750 kwacha to 6,000 kwacha. So you can see the difference.
So maybe the question is, why the difference? Is it that, okay, like he has always said, the corporation manager for ZESCO, Dr. Kunda, has always issued statement concerning the fees, and also cost reflective fees in terms of how ZESCO operates and what is expected for people really to pay to ZESCO without the help of the government. So basically, if I'm going to quote you from the standard that ZESCO is supposed to, really prices can go higher. That has been Dr. Kunda every time that he shows up and every time that he's giving remarks concerning the cost reflective prices. So maybe this could be one of those where the company is just, readjusting prices so that the real market prices can actually be adjusted.
Yeah, so that's for the connectivity fees. And then another thing, Alex, that people are anticipating or awaiting is the proposed increase to the electricity tariffs. And then last week I was talking to Dr. Kunda on the phone. I called him just to find out, like, so is the electricity tariffs going to be hiked in March as we expected? So he says it's not a must that they're going to be hiked, but until the cost of electricity study is complete, then we're going to know exactly if they should be increased or not. So that was the clarity that he gave. So he says people are saying it will, the tariffs will be hiked, they will be hiked, but it is not a must. So it can either be maintained or hiked depending on the cost of electricity study, which they have not yet gotten back. So it says they're actually waiting to get that back, then they'll know whether they have to hike the tariffs or not. But what is interesting right now, which would like your comment on, is this increment. So previously it was just like a rumor because it was not officially released by ZESCO. But this morning we took the task to call ZESCO Senior Corporate Affairs Manager, Dr. John Kunda, who has actually confirmed. So he said it is true that the ZESCO connectivity fees have increased from 1,700 to 6,995 kwacha. This means if you want to connect electricity, you now have to pay 6,995 kwacha from the initial 1,700 kwacha. So I would like to hear your views over the matter.
Yeah, you can phone in, and the numbers are scrolling on the screen. You can just phone in to give your contribution and also your opinion over this development. So like we said, we earlier called Dr. Konda just to clarify if this statement is true, and if not, then we don't need even to discuss it.
But it is true, apparently. And another interesting thing Alex said, the information is true. However, the information is leaked.
Yes, it's
because
leaked.
We have not yet.
So how can you put it? It's a leaked, true information.
So he said we've not yet officially issued, but since it has leaked, I have to comment on the matter, and the matter is that it is true. So what is your take on the increment in electricity connectivity fees from ZESCO from 1,700 to 6,995 kwacha? And Alex, now if you've got, if you want to separate your electricity meter, you used to pay 750 kwacha. Maybe you've got two houses and they want to have separate meters.
The flats.
So from 750 kwacha, you now have to pay 6,000 kwacha for the same. So that's a difference of about 5,000 kwacha, or over 4,000 kwacha on the same. So the concern is about people in the community. If you look at poverty levels in Zambia, poverty levels in Zambia are at over 50%. So does this mean that electricity will now be maybe a thing of the affluent?
Yeah, even the cost of living, the study done by JCTR and should be last week, where they view that the cost of living now in the food basket, according to Lusaka studies, is towards 9,000, and you can imagine per house of maybe let's say 5 people. So that much is just for you to secure foodstuffs and other basic needs that a family would need. But considering even the issues to do with the electricity and water and everything, it's quite, terrifying for people out there.
So if we round it off, we're going to say if you want to connect power to your house, you should have 7,000 kwacha.
Even more.
You should have 7,000 kwacha.
Yes.
7,000 kwacha just to connect power to your house.
Yes, even more, because there are all these other things that comes to fall in place. We need the meter boxes, you need the pipes and everything, or the poles, everything that is required. So you get to even maybe save about 10,000.
And
so
this also brings to the 4 issues such as charcoal burning. If you look at 7,000 kwacha, for most people, they would rather use charcoal to cook and all that until maybe they find the same 7,000. You know how people are. Even if they buy maybe 250 pesa, to them they see it cheaper than having the 7,000 kwacha at once. So this again brings concerns about an increase in charcoal burning. We're trying to reduce climate change. You've seen the way the rain season has been previously, where we've had floods, we had droughts in some areas, and so our agriculture has really been affected by climate change. And so if we're seeing this, really it's going to be a threat to our climate.
Zipporah, let's just take maybe to listen to Dr. Konda himself. Let's not put words in his mouth. So let's get to hear from him as he comments on these developing issues. So basically, we are expecting your calls to discuss this development, and let's have your opinion and your consideration on this. Are we able to have the clip?
There is a caller.
Oh, there's a caller.
Have a clip.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, welcome to the breakfast show. Can you tell us your name, where you're calling us from, and your contribution?
I'm calling from Shingon.
Okay, what's your name, sir, and your contribution? Okay, you can go ahead.
Even though just when the program has started already,
Yes.
but just to be quick on it, this is the problem we are facing in Zambia, whereby they don't consult from people before increasing everything. They do, what can I say? But if you have a plan, this is what you are going to do. This is not fair, because the amount of which they have created is too much. These are the same moments in this place. You can't control me like yours, adjustment to that, but I'm made at the arena, but the panel of what you get to get your. For what I think to have a couple of this, whatever you squash. Mira, le digo a mi poco, ma se già cambia la vita per che va c'è tutto a che per uscire. So, si era ci dopo, ma era poco non poteva già fare già che cara per ti scopo. Non ma dai che io volevo pubblicare ma mi sarà già la va. Ma la bomba, andiamo a fare con questa malai. Ma che ti ne vuoi in la vita ma dai, a te si che ti tanto, right? So like their money which they have increased too much, not fair. Right now, we consider that Zambia okay, consider land, long form of the land to Alanda. Oh, Baba passing a journey in Kacho, Kato, so not to attend the side. Oh, Baba, somebody has not to do this. They were feature. It's cool.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your contribution.
So mlolele mumfwe clip y'abakonda ba Elvis kufuma kuchingola so that balondolole muchite na understand. Let's just play a clip from the recording that we did this morning actually to consult if the development is true or not and what could be the way forward. Let's have the look.
The leaked information is true.
Oh, and what kind of connectivity fee that is?
It's not an increase.
Ah.
No, there is no increase. What it is, it's the normalization to follow, market prices for connections. So for new connections. So if you are applying for a new connection, what is ESCO is going to follow are the prevailing market connection rates. Instead of deflating the figures, where something is costing 7,000, you bring it to 700. That is not going to happen anymore for now. We'll be charging the amount that is market reflective. Market reflective prices. If a 4 is 2,000 kwacha, we are not going to quote the 4 as 200 kwacha. The 4 is going to cost 2,000 kwacha. We are going to charge is the true cost for the connection. This year we are going to provide guided information, but as it stands, that leaked information is true.
Welcome back. So that was a clip actually Dr. Kundari commenting on the same development. And what's surprising is not calling it an increment.
He says it's a normalization.
So what it is, from my understanding, is these are the ideal prices that were even in old days, which were supposed to be reflecting on whichever, on quotations.
Oh, we have a caller.
Let's just attend to the call before I make that point. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Kazo.
Okay, Mr. Skazo, you can go ahead with your contribution.
Thank you very much. Yes. I'm very disappointed if you don't laugh. Because the people there, according to them, they said they are going to economy. And they are saying that. Now, looking at the implement of this, sure, from 1,000 to 1,000 plus, do you think government is helping them? Then it means only the rich will be benefited or will be connected. Because it's not the thing. Like myself, I cannot afford to connect with you to have power. Because it's very where are we? Can say. Is that the way people have been done? This government is poor people. Surely they encourage the government sit and remove it. Otherwise, then it means poor people can sit out and go. Because it's very simple. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
contribution.
Mr. Skazwe. Thank you for your contribution.
And so his concern is about his concern is it's too expensive for poor
Is
people.
it affordable for some people, especially in, let's say, densely populated? Do you understand? So it's something that, so like I was explaining, these prices is not like according to Dr. Kunda, it's not like they are new per se.
He says that no, it will not increase.
Yeah.
We are just showing the true cost of prices on the market.
Exactly.
So
That's the interpretation. So I'm sure to the people it will appear as if they are new because they've never seen these prices before. But initially the company has always known that these are true cost of the prices of connection, the connection fees. So basically what ZESCO is doing is just to show people the true cost of the connection fees. And if that is put, then people will regard it as an increment. So basically, it's one and the same thing. So what's your take really? And we expect to have your view on this issue. And even if we close, you can actually call in using the numbers that's scrolling. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, you're through to Breakfast Show.
Hello?
Hello, we are getting you.
Okay.
Your name and where you are calling us from, please.
I'm calling from Sparta compound.
Indeed, your contribution.
My contribution is a concern where they said, according to the one that was you quote.
Dr. Kunda.
It is a reflective price according to the market.
Yes.
And according to that, he said one thing to say if the pole is 2,000 and you connect the electricity to the pole which is 2,000. Now my concern is this, because when even a meter separation is the same price. For example, I have the farm, we put the pole. Then I said I need to make a system again, meter separation. I pay the same amount I pay at first. Now they are not stealing from me or what? Because that is the same pole. Because the amount they are saying is the same. Now if I put, now I want a meter separation. They are saying the same. Now they are not stealing from me because they are using the same pole.
Okay.
And another question, I think if they say that it is reflective according to the market price, which market? Because we just have ZESCO, which market which they are talking about? And when we talk about electricity, they just put maybe compound, or let the proposal, or let the, and somebody wants to connect, and you pay 7,000 for what? So that is my contribution.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We're surely going to ask.
Yeah, we've taken note of that question. We'll obviously take it to ZESCO.
And what's interesting is that we're going to meet Dr. Kunda
Yes.
today, and we're going to actually maybe ask some of these questions that people want answers to.
Yeah.
And he'll be able to explain clearly on how this is going to work out.
Yeah, but he has brought up really good points there in terms of you have already installed the poles and then you need just a separation. Do you need to pay annual prices? That should be also clarified. Yeah, so in case you're just joining us, we're just going to play one last time the clip that Dr. Kunda is actually clarifying some of the issues. That's for the people who are just joining us, so that you can just have him in context and not misquote him. Let's just have a review of the clip.
Oh, we have a caller.
Let's have a caller.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, you're through to the Camnet Community Breakfast Show. Your name, where you're calling us from, and your contribution?
Yes, my name is Mr. Pando, calling from Mino, Chamba Valley.
All right, you can go ahead, sir.
Yes. Here that ZESCO have increased the charges for meter separation. Now, me, I happen to pay to ZESCO in 2020. I paid, and my house is in Kapilimposhi, East Park. Since then, they haven't connected me up to date. So I want to ask Mr. Kunda, in this case, does it mean that I need to add some money to the new charges, or they'll consider the same old one which I paid 2 years ago? Imagine.
Okay. I think...
Please, if you can collect my PU number so that you can forward it to Mr. Kunda.
Okay.
Is it possible?
Your
You
PIN,
can go ahead.
your PIN number?
Yes, yes.
But not your phone number, so you can take note of your PIN number and then we get to...
I just wanted to give you the number for Zesco so that you can follow it up in their system.
Great, that's okay.
Yeah, it's P 2034 79920.
Okay, can you just go one more time?
P 2034
Mm-hmm.
20
Mm-hmm.
200
Mm-hmm.
79
Mm-hmm.
920.
Okay, Mr.
I paid it, Mr. Mpande.
Mr.
Mpande.
Mpande.
Mr. Mpande. Okay.
Yes, please. I paid 770 kwacha. This was on the 2nd of September 2020 for visa separation in Kapirimposhi Test Park.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We are going to forward the
Thank
same.
you. So if we heard Dr. Kunda, he actually touched on this issue a bit. So these prices that are coming in are not affecting the area procurement. So maybe that's why I said let's just have a just to hear him doing the comment on this issue so that you can actually be guided on how they intend to do the whole thing at a company. Let's just have a look. Let's have Dr. Kunda responding to this issue so that you...
The leaked information is true.
Oh, and what kind of connectivity fee that is?
It's not an increase.
Ah.
No, there is no increase. What it is, it's the normalization to follow, market prices for connections. So for new connections. So if you are applying for a new connection, what is ESCO going to follow are the prevailing market connection rate. Instead of deflating the figures, where something is costing 7,000, you bring it to 700. That is not going to happen anymore for now. We'll be charging the amount that is market reflective. Market reflective prices. If a PO is 2,000 kwacha, we are not going to quote the PO as 200 kwacha. The PO is going to cost 2,000 kwacha. We are going to charge is the true cost for the connection. This year we are going to provide guided information, but as it stands, that leaked information is true.
Camnet TV is becoming big and better. You can now watch Camnet TV wherever you are around the world, simply by downloading the Camnet TV app. With Camnet TV app, you only use less bundles. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
So there you have it from Dr. Kunda commenting on the development where ZESCO is allegedly increasing connection fees from 1,700 to 6,995 kwacha, and also increasing the cost of meter separation from 750 kwacha to 6,000. So these are the new prices going forward. We actually got to hear even from the clip that he has actually said it's a true information, though it's not official. But so it's just a leaked true information. So he actually gave us a chance to just be able to discuss it on this platform so that you can get the views of the people. But due to time, we'll close on this segment and then go to our main topic of today, which we actually prepared for you. Also to have you comment on the domestic conflict and how best can families deal with conflict issues. In the studios?
Oh, we do have a call. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me just take that call and then you'll get back. Good morning.
Morning,
how are you doing?
I'm doing.
Okay, your name and your contribution, please.
My name is Paul.
Come again, please.
My name is Paul. Yeah.
Great. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you.
Okay, your contribution, please.
Yeah, the connection is Now, my question is, what about the power
I didn't get your question. Just come again.
My question is, meter separate. You put a house and you put another house, tap into the house.
Oh, great. In the same area.
Yeah. Same area.
Indeed.
Now you need meter separate.
Okay. We have taken note of that. We'll be able to ask Dr. Kunda as we meet with him later during the day.
And
have you taken note of
questions? So I'll drag you along when you go and see him so that I don't
Not a
forget
problem.
anything.
Not a problem. So we are just closing that on trending issues on ZESCO increasing the connection fees and also the meter separation fees. So we'll get to discuss with the remaining minutes the domestic conflict, which is our main topic for today. We've seen a number of cases that are dealing with family conflicts, and it could be couples or maybe just siblings, you know, even to an extent where one would kill another. So basically we are looking at that topic. You can also call in to give your view on the issue. We are joining the studio by Mr. Richard Nkoa, who's actually the Concerned Citizen for Justice and Human Rights Director. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm great, and how are you?
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Ms. Paula.
So you deal with basically the citizens, you know, hearing their cases in regard to justice and also human rights. So far, maybe with the year 2022, how has been the reportage records that you've done so far?
Thank you so much. 2022, it hasn't started well in terms of domestic violence in our communities, because from January to date, we have seen increased number of deaths connecting to domestic violence management. Zipola, I can confirm here to say that domestic violence management often happened in a closed door, which we need to get involved, all of us as a country, more especially male folk. Domestic management issues, domestic violence issues, mainly does not choose the color or leather the lane. It involves everyone. Therefore, it takes every individual to stand up and voice out. So for last year, for now, this from January to date, we are disappointed, and it is very sad that we are losing very young women, very young men due to domestic violence. I think we need to voice out and do something as a country. Sure.
Hypothetically speaking, there comes a time in families where people feel this issue cannot be resolved, and the only way is maybe separating or maybe fighting. And how do you then try to help the families come together once more?
Thank you so much. As organization, we have got qualified counselors, well trained, and also well monitored by the government institutions, well licensed by the Zambia Counseling Council. What we do as organization, when we see that the problem cannot be resolved, we push it before the courts of law, or we make sure that these people, they are separated. But let me confirm here that we have moved away from the foundation of Zambian culture. We have totally moved away from the Zambian culture, where we have allowed people to get involved in these marriages of young people. You find that the people who counsel, more especially traditional counselors, I'm not here to condemn the traditional counselors, but what normally happens, you find that those people who counsel our children, mainly they do that under the influence of alcohol. Also, it has contributed. Therefore, modern counseling, I think it has contributed. It is taking shape in our country. It is taking shape in our country to help out to reduce these issues of domestic violence. Yeah. So we therefore are advising or appealing to our colleague in traditional counseling that they go through the training so that certain happenings they can be reduced.
Okay, great. We did compile one story to do. Yeah, not the other day for murder in. Yeah, so let's just take a look at the murder story that happened between the girlfriend and also the boyfriend allegedly killed the girlfriend, and so that you can have the context of where we're coming from with the topic.
Some residents of Ngombe compound in Lusaka bypass this house on a daily basis while going about their business, not knowing that it has been housing a corpse for about 2 days, while others lived right next door. This is Ngombe Ward 3, where the decomposing body of a woman was discovered by neighbors at around 11 hours Monday morning. They narrate that the woman, who is suspected to be in her mid-20s and works as a maid, has been living in this house with her boyfriend who does not work and is known to be over-controlling. They explained that one of the neighbors was called by the said man, alleging that he was sick and needed to be checked on. They however state that upon entering the house, they discovered the body covered in blankets, which they mistook to be the man due to the phone call, only to discover that it was the decomposing body of his girlfriend, while the man was nowhere to be seen.
Kako kunganda kuri wewe wikara muri wanu monastery pamwe so kwa magazi batisangira mu bafuro ile batisangira batisasanga na fimbana twatisamu so ina tutwachira mu kwachini mwangu me uyawe mu guys so kutotisa kumata na form guys mungando so kutotisa ma mane na mona cyane kutotisa bukira huti ndabona mwana kashuye ukwi so kwatisa tumakutuna ta ile mwana kashi so kwatisa tuna polisi kwatisa
aba bakazi nizibana nawo none babatu so pasatadi naonana nawo nakomboka kunchito naiva komboka kunchito so na dapo futi naenda kunchito lero napeza ti kuli mundu wakufa kuja kusedi mpeza ti ni baja bakazi chaipa bazimuna baliko lero nsajizani ali nazo uja bamuna timziva apa mkazi wake chifukwa cha nsanje ola nyamuka kungena mu shop within 5 minutes abo menyewa
niso
afuna ka paliposa bewa chapewa bili
abataba notaba kuchoka pa Saturday kubwa kumuona lero pamande pakaonongeka so ine nipe mpako che boma kuli konso kwa mena aliri uyu mwamuna ataba bamugwire elo manje bamugwire bakamugwira bamusenzerepo chirango wampase maningi ndabamuna madezi ano bambo paya bazimai
pa Saturday usiku mwana wanga pa Sunday atabao mavutana lero so basi pamene tinao kakudoko enze kokoma so kapena wanampa ya pa Saturday ya meja day pamene kwenze chongo so kuseni lero pamande nje pani taza kuti muri muntu okufa mu nyumba mbati chamena atitamwali mwamuna nchoipa sana chabwi
pavame vashitika sivina kondwerese ngani yopayana chayo chimalengesa ine chayo nimaonapo nsanje zikapitirira malire ndiye mwavi mapezekera soche.
Meanwhile, Women for Change Executive Director Ms. Lumba Sianga has raised concern at the escalating levels of gender-based violence (GBV) in the community.
And also neighbors should be on the lookout. If people are always fighting and you just keep quiet till when there's a death reported, I think neighbors can do something to prevent someone from losing their life. Let's engage our neighbors, those we hear screaming at night, or we hear them complaining as we are fetching water, as we are going to the bus stations or bus stops. We hear all kinds of complaints. I think let's not just ignore these complaints.
By broadcast time, the body was being carried away by the police, while the man is said to be on the run. An official statement on the matter had not yet been received from the Zambia police by broadcast time. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Confused and speechless with no idea of how to narrate a predicament, Grace Tembo of Lusaka's Pasela compound in Kanyama constituency is appealing to well-wishers for financial support so that she can travel back to her village in Eastern Province. This mother of 3 children has claimed that she has no means of surviving the harsh economic condition of Lusaka because her husband, on whom she depended for survival, has since reportedly abandoned her and the children. She and the 3 children are now in the care of a neighbor. She has also told this reporter that her circumstances have become worse because she no longer has a roof over her head after floods washed away the house in which her family had been living in Eastern Province. She narrates that her husband, whom she identified as Jackson Mwali, brought her to Lusaka from a village in Eastern Province to start a new life with her, but after a year of being in a marriage relationship, abandoned her and the children. To make it worse, she does not have any relative in Lusaka on whom she can count on, and she is now worried about how her family would survive. According to the recent survey by the JCTR Basic Needs and Nutrition Basket for January 2022, the monthly cost of living for a family of 6 in Lusaka has gone up to 9,049.25 ngwe, representing 6,089.45 ngwe increase in the comparison to the December 2021 basket that stood at 8,359.8 ngwe. Given the high cost of living, therefore, a woman such as Gracie Tembo and her children would find it very difficult to survive in Lusaka without financial support from well-wishers or the government.
I'm disappointed with my fellow men who take advantage because of vulnerability of women. It's very shameful for a man to get a woman from Eastern Province to here in Lusaka, then here you come and desert the woman. I think I'm disappointed with my colleagues. We need to be responsible as men, and at the same time, we should stop taking advantage over vulnerability of women. these women, they need our support. Now, coming to the issue of how we are going to help as an organization, yes, we really need to mobilize resources so that we can support her for transportation to go back home.
Miriam Kempa, reporting for Camnet TV News.
So there we have it. We've seen two stories that border on domestic violence, and it shows just how serious the issue of domestic violence is in Zambia. And so, Mr. Nkua, you're one of the people who are working on issues of domestic violence. So maybe just how serious is the problem? How many cases do you have as an organization per day? How many people come in, and mainly what kind of cases are these?
Paula, first of all, let me comment on the first story. I'm shocked. I never saw this story myself. I'm very shocked that we can lose a young lady, a beautiful lady who had a bright future just because of love, just because of minor issues that can be resolved, minor issues that we can call other people to help us and resolve the problem that we are facing. On that issue, I think we need to do something as a country. We need to stand up together with the media, together with the government. We work together so that we work closely so that we resolve these problems. Not only that, let's be neighbors watch. Let's watch what our neighbors are doing, because mainly these things, as I've already alluded, that they happen in the closed door. But at least let's wake up and save life. If these people, they could have, if one or two people they had gone to this and solved this problem, I think we could have saved this life. I think let's respect life. Let's protect life. Coming to the question is that as Concerned Citizen for Justice and Human Rights, we receive cases out of four, at least one to be domestic violence issues. Maybe two, they can be domestic issues.
Is this per day?
Yes, per day. These are the cases that come normally on daily basis. These are the problems that we are facing. Even as I'm talking right now, they are there. We are resolving such problems. Most of what is surprising for our nation is that most of the issues you find that the men, they will just opt to desert from our matrimonial homes. Even leaving out our own children who never applied to be born from them. Very sad. A man deserting your own family.
Mr. Nkua, just hold on to that thought. Let's just have a call. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, you are through to our program. Your contribution and where you're calling us from.
Yes, I'm from London.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, you can go ahead with your contribution, sir.
Yes, I want to contribute on the issue of electricity.
Come again?
I want to contribute on the issues of
Of electricity, the ZESCO issue?
Yes.
Okay, you can go ahead, though we've passed that segment, but you can still contribute.
Okay.
Sure.
You had mentioned saying you can still contribute.
Yeah, we've passed the segment for ZESCO. We've taken quite a number of issues which we are going to forward to ZESCO Corporate Affairs Manager, who is Dr. Kunda John, this morning. So basically,
I think you didn't hear the part where you said you can still contribute.
Yes. But if you have anything to contribute, you can still contribute. But at the moment, you're discussing domestic violence with Mr. Nkua. You can still contribute on the particular issue. Your thought on the same?
Yes, I was saying, what normally happens in the communities, you find that out of 1 to 4, you find that 1 or 2 people are reporting domestic violence. And what is surprising me is that men, they have opted to desert their own families.
So
their
you have a number
own
of
children.
cases where some families, some children have been neglected?
Yes. There are so many. In fact, you find that such cases in a month we receive 20 to 30 cases.
That's
those
a lot
are the
of cases.
yes, those are the issues that we resolve on daily basis. Those are the issues that we resolve on daily basis.
So what could be the causes really that you found to be established in most cases?
There are issues of alcohol influence. Women that have opted to involve themselves into the alcohol has taken center stage in their marriages. Also, it has contributed of men deserting them. Now, my main point is that if it is a woman who has done something wrong, why punishing children who are innocent? Why deserting your own family who are innocent? We need to find amicable solutions so that we protect the lives of the children, because these children, they never pride to be born from them. Okay? That's the issue. Look at this story, second story that we have just seen. This man grabbed all the clothes of the children, including the blankets of the children, and he went away. He's nowhere to be seen. No one knows where he is right now. The children, they are struggling right now, being kept by a neighbor who is not married, who is not working, just to give them the shelter. This is the sad story.
It is.
And this man is working, is doing well, but he has deserted his own family. I think we need to do something as a country.
What could be a long-lasting solution to the same?
I think a long-lasting solution, number one, is community awareness.
Okay.
We need to have community awareness. And this community awareness should not be left to the government alone. Every Zambian should get involved, more especially male folk, they should get involved in this fight.
Indeed.
If we leave this fight to government alone, government cannot come on the ground and start handling these issues. We are there on the communities. Pastors, churches, church elders, deacons, let's get involved in these problems so that we can find a lasting solution to the problem. Number two, the lasting solution, I think, is my advice to the men, to the women. Don't just lash into marriage without courtship. Because what I've seen is that men they have taken advantage because of an ability of women. Women, they are very much eager to enter into marriage without assessing the man they want to get married into. I think that is the point. What is happening right now is that 1 month, 1 week, no, I want to marry you. You enter into marriage without even informing your relatives. You go cohabiting. Look at the case of, is it Ellen Kaunda? It's just cohabiting. No dowry was paid. But the family, they have lost a soul. The country has lost a soul. Okay? The world has lost a soul.
Okay, so maybe just for the case of our viewers, can you just explain better what happened in Helen Kaunda?
Yeah,
because some of the viewers may not be aware.
Like what happened in Helen Kaunda is that, certain things is, it pains me. How I wish that I can, how I wish that I had money. How I wish that I don't know what I can. This issue of Helen Kaunda, where this girlfriend was, is a girlfriend, right? They were just cohabiting, right?
Oh, you're talking the one we played earlier?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. She was just a girlfriend, not formally married. He is a man. He has taken his own authority to kill. At the same time, he calls the neighbors to say, no, I'm sick. Please come and see me. Meanwhile, he knows that he has killed
someone.
Killed some.
The house.
how cruel are we men today?
There's also a recent case from Ellen Kaunda, if you heard of the killing of two siblings, the sisters.
Yes.
Allegedly, the sister killed another in the name of Agatha. So we're having these cases really coming increasing, so to say. And the police has been updating the nation on how best these cases can actually be handled. And you've come up with a good point. It's not one man's show. Everyone should come on board and actually contribute to the curbing of these vices. The church, the community themselves, and also the police and other stakeholders like your organization. So we did a compilation of a number of stories that have popped up since the year 2022. And this is what we did yesterday. Let's just take a look of that story. Zambia in the recent past has seen a number of cases as confirmed by the Zambia Police Service involving domestic violence, either between couples or better still family members. These developments have worried some stakeholders, noting that if left unattended to, the cases may rise to unprecedented numbers. In an interview, Independent Church of Zambia President Bishop David Masupa has noted that there is need for stakeholders such as the church, civil society organizations, and the government to make efforts in curbing these vices.
Each other or shedding blood of the innocent. We condemn these barbaric acts of murder that is on the rise in the recent past in our country. We remind those perpetrators of such heinous acts that you will also be punished under the full wrath of God.
Bishop Masupa has since challenged families across the country to seek counsel and help from relevant authorities when faced with conflicts.
Learn something. Remember, the church is there to help you. The clergy are there to come in to resolve your conflicts. Let's not kill one another, but let's learn to resolve any difference, any conflict in a Christian manner.
Meanwhile, Concerned Citizen for Justice and Human Rights Director Richard Nkoa says much sensitization is required for people to learn conflict management at every degree.
Again, we have got the police victim support unit. They are there. It's not that when you take the matter to the police, just there and then they will arrest you. No. The victim support unit is there to help the community. We totally condemn this issue of resorting to physical battering, physical of defending defending yourself. I think that is not the best way. The best way, we need to come up with a program. We need to come up with a system that can help the communities. And also, us, if we are offended, we should find ways how to handle a situation.
Mr. Nkoa since condemned the recent report of a murder case in Lusaka's Ellen Kaunda compound.
We are very much disturbed, like the case which happened in Ellen Kaunda, where you kill a person, then you bury that particular person behind the house. What is the logic? What is the reason for that? We are condemning such a barbaric act as a nation because there is no way we can lose a life of a person for nothing.
Among the notable cases recorded by Zambia Police Service is one that occurred on 4th February 2022, a murder case involving a woman allegedly burnt to death by her husband in Chipata. A similar case was confirmed by police where a man in Lusaka's Ngombe area allegedly murdered his girlfriend in his own house. And the recent case occurred 13th February 2022, where police apprehended and detained two suspects in connection to circumstances surrounding the death. A victim was discovered buried behind the house in Ellen Kaunda, where she was staying with her sister. Alex Shimba, Kamni News, in Lusaka. In case you're just joining us, we're even about to wrap up the program. But for those people who've been maybe having issues to do with domestic violence in their communities or maybe their relatives, we have Mr. Nkoa Richard, the Director for Concerned Citizen for Justice and Human Rights, who's going to help us to were to take these issues, like to seek help from, where would one take the issues when they are faced with one?
Number one, they can still go to any police station. The police that come up with the policies. Any police station, there is a victim support unit where they can find help. Number two, they can even come to our offices. Then we help them resolve their conflicts. They can go to YWCA. They are there to help. They can also go to Women Legal Clinic. They can still find help. Even Human Rights Commission, also they are there to help you. Okay, so there are so many institutions that help in these vices, in these domestic violence.
As we wrap up on Samko, what would be your appeal, your last remark to the people out there relating to the topic?
Okay, number one, I think let's be neighbors watch. That is my appeal to the communities and also to the church. Number two, my appeal is that government, they should come down and help with the communities, with the organizations that are offering these services, so that we can find an answer to the problem which is happening right now. Because if we are doing these things on our own, it's like we are just formulating them on our own without finding an answer. So we are appealing to the government, they should come down and we work together. The church also, we should team up with the church so that we can find an answer to the problem that the country is facing. I think that is my appeal to
Great, thank you for coming through, Mr. Nkoa. We appreciate your time and also your contribution to this program. Mr. Richard Nkoa is the Concerned Citizen for Justice and Human Rights Director located in Kanyama compound. So basically we've been looking at domestic conflicts and how best can families deal with conflict in their various homes. Earlier, before the topic, we were looking at ZESCO, alleged increase of connection fees and also meter separation fees. Zepor, what's your takeaways of the program as you close?
Yeah, so I think that's been a very interesting topic, especially that we still await to get more information from ZESCO on the first topic that we're talking about. We expect to get more details as to how these connectivity fees will be handled. So there are different concerns. Is it that when you already have a pole, do you still need to pay and all that? So there is various concerns. And then we've also learned from Mr. Richard Nkoa concerning the high number of domestic violence cases in the country, and people have been encouraged to report. So every police station out there has got a victim support unit. Make sure we report. And one thing that stakeholders have been emphasizing is the need for empowerment, especially among women, because they are of the view that the lack of empowerment is what keeps women from reporting, because really they're dependent on the man. So we have learned a lot of new information from today's show. So do join Patrick Soko and Sharon Kalimbula tomorrow as they take you into politics. From us, it's good morning.